Hi students! In this video, we will review the August 2022 Algebra 1 Regents. This video will contain the solutions to questions number 21 through 24. Go ahead and grab a notebook and a pencil, and let's get started. Number 21. A swimmer set a world record in the women's 500-meter freestyle, finishing the race in 15.42 minutes. If 1 meter is approximately 3.281 feet, which set of calculations could be used to convert her speed to miles per hour? So she finished 1,500 meters in 15.42 minutes. We know that we can convert minutes to hours. To solve these kinds of problems, we really want to cancel out the units. Don't even worry about the numbers, just look at the units. We want to end up with miles in the numerator and hours in the denominator, and every other unit has to cancel out. So I would like minutes to cancel out. So I'm looking for minutes to be in the numerator and then hours to be in the denominator. So I'm just going to do a quick scan. And I noticed that answer choice 1 has 60 minutes over 1 hour. So the minutes are canceling out. That's happening in answer choice 2. It's also happening in answer choice 4, but I don't see it happening in answer choice 3. So we're going to eliminate that one. We also want meters to be converted into feet. We were given that conversion in the original problem. 1 meter is approximately 3.28 feet. So notice the meters are both in the numerator here. That's not going to work for us because we can't cancel out the units when they're both in the numerator. We would need meters here in the numerator and meters in the denominator. So we're going to get rid of answer choice 1. Let's take a look at choice 2. Do we have meters in the numerator and meters in the denominator? Yes, we do. So this is a potential answer, and those meters are going to cancel out. For answer choice 4, again, we don't have meters in the numerator and in the denominator, so we're going to get rid of that one. So it's pretty clear that answer choice 2 is correct, but let's just take a look. 1 meter is 3.281 feet, so that looks good. And now we would want feet to cancel out. So feet is going to cancel out here. It's in the numerator and it's in the denominator. So now take a look at what units are left. We have miles here in the numerator, and that's the only unit that's left in the numerator. And we have hours here in the denominator. That's the only unit left here in the denominator. So answer choice 2 is the correct answer. The diagram below shows the graph of h of t, which models the height in feet of a rocket t seconds after it was shot into the air. The domain of h of t is, remember, the domain is the set of all possible x values. I prefer to use vertical lines to assess what's happening on the graph. So right now, if we draw a vertical line right here, we could tell that the x values start off at 0, and we're going all the way to the right, where the x values are ending at 4. So the domain goes from 0 to 4. We also know that there are closed circles here at 0 and 4. So the domain is going from 0 to 4 inclusive, meaning we're going to include the 0 and include the 4. So we must use brackets. Answer choice 2 is the correct answer. Number 23, the table below shows the time in hours spent by students on electronic devices and their math test scores. The data collected model a linear regression. We have a table of values here. The input values are time spent on an electronic device, recorded in hours, and then the output value are the math test scores. The question asks, what is the correlation coefficient to the nearest hundredth for these data? Now, of course, there's a manual way to solve this problem, but it's just not useful for the purposes of this course. So this is the one question out of the entire multiple choice section of the August 2022 Regents where we must use a calculator. Let's head over to the TI-84 calculator. Before you get started working on linear regression problems, you have to remember to turn diagnostics on. There are 2 ways to do this. You can hit second 0 and scroll all the way down to where you're going to see diagnostics on and diagnostics off, and you're going to select diagnostics on. So let's take a look. It's right over here. You see how it says diagnostics off? We want to go to diagnostics on, and we're going to press enter twice. So you see how it says done? That's what you're looking for. There's another approach that you can take. For the newer graphing calculators, you can press mode. And if you notice right down here, it says stat diagnostics off and on. So right now it's on. If you want to turn it off, you can just press off right here, or you can go to on and turn it on. So those are the two ways. Either press second 0 and go down to diagnostics on, or press mode and scroll down here to diagnostics on. So let's start our problem. You're going to hit stat, and number 1 is edit. So we're going to press enter. All of our input values are going to be entered into L1. So we have 3, 1, 4, 0, 3, 7, 5, and 2. Be very careful not to make any mistakes when entering these data points. Our output values, or Y values, are going to be math test scores, and we're going to enter it in L2. We have 85, 99, 81, 98, 90, 65, 78, and 90. We are done. Now we want to calculate some statistics about this data set. To calculate the correlation coefficient, you're going to hit stat, go over to calc, so that's arrow right, and then we're going to hit linreg AX plus B, which is number 4, and we're going to press enter. The X list is L1, the Y list is L2. We're going to go all the way down to calculate. And now we have the linear regression equation where it says Y equals AX plus B. This is our slope, which is going to replace A. This is our Y-intercept, which will replace B. R squared and R. This is the information we're looking for the correlation coefficient. So we're not interested in R squared. We are interested in just R by itself. And pay attention to what they told us to do. They told us to round to the nearest hundredths place. So we see that it's going to be negative. So I'm eliminating answer choice 3 and 4. And then negative 0.977, if we're rounding to the nearest hundredths place, this 7 is going to round to an 8. So this is negative 0.98. So the correct answer is choice 1, negative 0.98. Number 24. The volume of a trapezoidal prism can be found using the formula V equals 1/2 A, open parentheses, B plus C, close parentheses, times H. Which equation is correctly solved for B? This means we want to isolate B. Let's get started. My first goal here would be to get rid of the 1/2. So right now, again, anytime you're multiplying by a fraction, the easiest step is to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'll multiply both sides of this equation by 2 over 1. And that's going to cancel out there. So now we have 2V equals, I'm going to put the A and the H together because they're simply being multiplied, times B plus C, which is in the parentheses. So my next step would be to divide both sides by AH because we want to undo that multiplication bond. Let's see what we're left with. Now we have 2V over AH equals B plus C. Our final step is to subtract C on both sides. So our final answer should be B equals 2V over AH minus C. So the correct answer is choice 4. If you learned something in this video, please go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.